Welcome back to Banging the Can, the Houston sports podcast that does not apologize for championship rings and tings. I am your host, Ross Bolen, and holy shit, there is a lot going on in the wide world of sports this week. Not the best start to Black History Month for the NFL, but we will get to that. Let's begin with some local news as Houston Rockets struggling rookie Jalen Green is set to headline the NBA Slam Dunk Contest at All-Star Weekend taking place February 19th in Cleveland, Ohio. Green is looking to become the 15th rookie in NBA Slam Dunk Contest history to win the competition. He will be joined by Orlando Magic point guard Cole Anthony, Golden State Warriors small forward Juan Toscano Anderson, and New York Knicks power forward Obi Toppin, who has far and away the coolest name in the competition. Since being selected number 2 in the 2021 NBA Draft, 19-year-old Jalen is averaging 14.1 points, 3.3 rebounds, 2.2 assists in 35 games played this season, with his struggles being well documented and discussed, so we are not focused on that today. Positivity only for the Rockets today, folks. We are rebuilding. Never forget that. I'm excited to have something to be excited about with the Rockets right now, and frankly, excited to have some Jalen Green news to discuss that isn't related to his abysmal shooting performance over the last month. Yay for us! We did it, Houston! Green was also among the players selected to the Rising Stars roster, along with 2 other Rockets rookies, Alperen Sengun and Jayshawn Tate. So this will officially be the most heavily invested I have been in All-Star Weekend since I don't even know. Since Gerald Green blew out the candle on that cupcake, frankly, Harden was never really that fun to watch during the All-Star game. I think he was usually hungover. In all likelihood, I will nap during the actual NBA All-Star game, especially considering Andrew Wiggins is a starter, thanks to K-pop social media. But for the dunk contest and the Rising Stars Challenge, you can bet your ass I'll be locked in and rooting for the boys. In related NBA All-Star news, the 2022 Clorox Rising Stars has a new format, and yes, I did say Clorox. The new format consists of 28 players comprising 12 rookies, 12 sophomores, 4 members of the NBA G League Ignite developmental squad, who will be drafted onto 4 teams coached by 75th anniversary team members Rick Barry, Gary Payton, Isaiah Thomas, and James Worthy to compete in 3 games. Each game will be played to a final target score, ending with a made basket or free throw instead of with the clock running out, which is interesting. It will be a race to 75 to celebrate the league's 75th anniversary season. Games 1 and 2 will be played until a team reaches 50 points. Game 3 will be played until a team reaches 25 points. Write that all down so you know what the fuck is going on when you're watching. All right, that's enough with local news. Time to get to some of the craziest stories in sports right now. But first, today's episode is brought to you by Bird Dogs. Bird Dogs, making the most comfortable shorts in the world with the built-in underwear you know and love for living life and making love. It's like, why wear shorts with underwear when you can wear even better shorts with built-in underwear, thus creating less laundry, thus saving the planet, thus making you a hero who is also better looking and more comfortable. Bird Dogs, you silly bastard, but did you know they make pants as well for these winter months? Pants for work, pants for play, pants for golf. Their new joggers are next level comfortable. Check out the new Bird Dogs joggers on birddogs.com. Grab yourself a pair. I absolutely love mine. I wear them to sleep every night, also during the day, which is to say when I wear them, they stay on for a full 24 hours because they are the most comfortable pants that I own. What's more, for being a can banger and listening to this podcast, when you use the code BTC at checkout on birddogs.com, Bird Dogs is giving away free whistling footballs like the Nerf football you grew up with, but a Bird Dogs whistling football like the one I'm holding in my hand right now. Use the code BTC when you check out at birddogs.com to support the podcast and secure your free Bird Dogs whistling football with your order. Birddogs.com, code BTC. Now, in the biggest sports story of 2022 so far, overtaking Tom Brady's retirement in just a matter of hours, Brian Flores, former Miami Dolphins head coach, has sued the NFL and 3 teams, the Dolphins, Broncos, and Giants, alleging discrimination regarding his interview processes with the Denver and New York and his firing last month by Miami. In the lawsuit, Wigdor Law LLP, the firm representing Flores, said the coach hopes to, quote, shine a light on the racial injustices that take place inside the NFL. Among the areas Flores said he would like to see addressed: 1, increase influence of black individuals in hiring. 2, increase the objectivity, of hiring and terminating GMs, head coaches, and coordinators. 3, increase the number of black coordinators. 4, incentivize hiring and retention of black GMs, head coaches, and coordinators. And 5, transparency for pay for GMs, head coaches, and coordinators. From ESPN, this is a 58-page lawsuit that was filed in Manhattan federal court on Tuesday and seeks class action status. Flores alleges that Dolphins owner Stephen Ross attempted to incentivize him to tank or purposely lose games shortly after he was hired in 2019, with Ross allegedly offering Flores $100,000 for every loss that season. The owner of the team told the coach, "Hey man, for every game you lose, I'll give you an additional $100K. Holy shit. That is a story. $100,000 per L. There is actually an NFL owner worse than Cal McNair, and it is Stephen Ross. What a total turd." Flores says that the team won games late in the season and that Dolphins general manager Chris Grier told him Ross was, quote, mad that the on-field success was, quote, compromising the team's draft position. Additionally, Flores alleges that Ross pressured him into recruiting a prominent quarterback, which Twitter is reporting was Tom Brady, at the end of the 2019 season, which the coach refused so as to not violate the NFL's tampering rules. Ross, not me, but Stephen Ross, then allegedly invited Flores onto a yacht for lunch in the winter of 2020, where he informed him that the quarterback was conveniently arriving at the marina for an impromptu meeting. Flores refused the meeting, left the yacht, and then afterwards alleges he was treated with disdain and held out as someone who was non-compliant and difficult to work with. He was fired January 10th, despite recording the Dolphins' first back-to-back winning season since 2003. He was 10-6 in 2020, 9-8 in 2021. Flores also alleged that the Giants interviewed him last month for their head coaching vacancy for no other reason other than to comply with the NFL's Rooney Rule, which, if you're not familiar with it, requires teams to interview minority candidates for their open positions. The league has amended that rule recently and now says teams must hold an in-person interview for at least one external minority candidate for any general manager or head coaching opening. Apparently, Flores actually informed our Houston Texans of this lawsuit during his interview process, which is hilarious because the Texans have Josh McCown, a white man who has never coached a single game of football at any level, middle school, high school, collegiate, or professional, at the top of their coaching hire list. Noticeably white is McCown, and undoubtedly news of the lawsuit had Cal McNair and Nick Caserio shaking in their boots as they just fired a black head coach, making Mike Tomlin in Pittsburgh, the only remaining currently employed black head coach in the NFL. What a mess. I would pay an ungodly amount of money to hear Cowboys owner Jerry Jones's unfiltered thoughts on the Brian Flores lawsuit. Before Brian Flores said that's enough of the Tom Brady dick tug-a-thon, the entire sports world was focused on one thing and one thing only: Tom Brady's finally confirmed and announced retirement after days of speculation and unconfirmed reports. The funniest part of this entire situation was obviously that Brady took a few days to promote some of his brands, I'll say, like TB12 or whatever he's got going, some kind of Brady clothing line as well, on social media, knowing that he had the world's eyes on his accounts. Then he finally made the announcement on Instagram yesterday where he failed in any way, shape, or form to acknowledge the New England Patriots, filling all Patriots haters with a previously unachieved level of giddiness. I joked on Twitter that Brady took one look at the future of football, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Davis Mills, and Joe Burrow, and said, yeah, I'm done here. See how I snuck the neck in there? I do it for the people. Imagine if when Hakeem Olajuwon, who is currently on my chest, retired from the NBA, he only thanked and acknowledged the Toronto Raptors. That's basically what Brady did. Now, he has since shown some love to Patriots fans, also on his Instagram, obviously his social media of choice, but still, it was a pretty blatant slap or spit in the face for Patriots Nation, which again makes me and all Patriots haters incredibly happy. In other huge news for the Texans, Washington selected Commanders as their new NFL team name after 2 seasons of searching, ensuring that the Texans do not look quite so bad for their own team naming decisions. After 87 years with its former name and 2 years as the Washington football team, the franchise announced on Wednesday morning that its new name would be the Commanders. They also unveiled their new logo and uniforms, both of which are trash. Commanders, really? Washington Hogs or Warthogs were 2 of the options that would have been cooler to me, but frankly, I think they were already using their best option in Washington football team. That was a cool name, despite being the most mockable name in the NFL. At least Washington football team yielded tight merch, whereas Washington Commanders is just weak as hell on every single level. The NFL is a joke league with nothing but absolutely abysmal headlines as their biggest game of the year approaches, the Super Bowl. Sad, but also very, very funny and not all that shocking. But between Brady's retirement and the Brian Flores stunner of a lawsuit, not the best week, not the best first 2 days of Black History Month for the National Football League and the Shield. Follow us on social media at Banging the Can on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. Follow me, Ross Bolen, at WRBOLEN on Instagram and Twitter. Listen to my comedy podcast, the Ross Bolen Podcast, wherever you listen to Banging the Can. And support today's sponsor, Bird Dogs, by grabbing yourself a pair of the most comfortable shorts or pants in the world at birddogs.com, using the code BTC to get you that free whistling football with your orders so the show can go on. Please tell your Houston sports fan friends and family about the show. My company, Bolen Media, is just 3 dudes full-time grinding in my house. So we need your help to get the word on the streets that Banging the Can is here as your de facto Houston sports podcast covering all the stories that matter most to Houstonians. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for being here with me today. And until next time, H-Town, stay down.